Hey everybody, it's your friend and your guy and your favorite Gardiner, the Linux gamer, or something like that. We've had another busy week for the Steam Deck and other Valve news that came up that I wanted to talk about. So let's not faff about and let's get into this video, shall we? First, let's talk about game releases. Now, Total War Warhammer 3 is now available for Linux. The latest from Feral Interactive, it's delivering yet another native Linux title, and it's pretty cool to see. It's been a minute since I played any Warhammer title, but I have found that strategy games like this have been a surprisingly comfortable fit for the Steam Deck. Next up, we have horror visual novel 5 Stages of Pink, which has released as a native Linux build as well. And with the Steam Deck's lowest frame rate option being available specifically for visual novel style content, this could be an excellent fit for your Steam Deck if this is your kind of game. Then we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. This is a brand new beat-em-up game from Tribute brought natively to Linux by Ethan Lee, known in the community as Flibbitajibabo. According to the Steam page, quote, TMNT features groundbreaking gameplay rooted in timeless classic brawling mechanics brought to you by the beat-em-up experts at .emu, Streets of Rage 4, I'm probably saying .emu wrong, and Tribute Games. Bash your way through gorgeous pixel art environments and slay tons of hellacious enemies with your favorite turtle, each with his own skills and moveset. Next up, Inscription. That's right, Inscription now has a native Linux build. Now, if you're not familiar, Inscription is a quote, inky black, card-based Odysee that blends the deck-building roguelike, escape room-style puzzles, and psychological horror into a blood-laced smoothie. Darker still are the secrets inscribed upon the cards. Now, I've seen a ton of gameplay about this game, and with a native Linux build, it should be a great fit for my Steam Deck. Then we have Hands of Necromancy. This is a title that uses GZ Doom as its game engine. And that's right, if you're a fan of boomer shooters like I am, then Hands of Necromancy offers a fantasy-inspired shooter in the style of the amazing Doom 1 and 2. Plus, listen to that music. Masterpiece. Finally, we have, wait, really? We have a Team Fortress 2 update? Is that real? Okay, it's real. Wow, all right. Well, so back in May, Valve said that they were going to be doing something about Team Fortress 2's bot problem. A problem which has plagued the community for over 2 years and has been strangling the fun out of this multiplayer shooter. Well, earlier this week, Valve actually dropped a stealth update for the game that fixed a number of bugs and community complaints, including the ability for players to use cheats even if they're in a secured server, spies using the wrong weapon when disguised, and projectile collision detection occurring late or too early with teammates. Other improvements include both teams are now able to run a kick vote at the same time. There can be a global vote running at the same time there's a kick vote, and they fixed an issue where sometimes voting wasn't able at the end of a round. It's pretty cool to see Valve actually doing something for the Team Fortress 2 community, which was a huge cash cow for Valve for a long time, and then they just kind of like neglected completely. But that's it for game releases this week. Links to everything I talk about are in the description, but did I miss any though? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you, but man, am I excited to see so many native Linux releases. The Steam Deck has really kind of changed the game for Linux gaming, in my opinion. Next up, let's talk about the fact that the Steam Deck is back at the top spot as a global top seller on Steam. Now, again, this is by revenue, not by units sold, but it is still really cool to see how popular this device is. The deck was number 2 by revenue after V Ryzen, which took its number 1 spot 2 weeks ago, but the deck surpassed it again the next week, and while the Steam Deck is at number 1, V Ryzen has dropped to 8 on the list. The Steam Deck has been in the number 1 or number 2 spot for over 15 weeks at this point, and that's really incredible, though not particularly surprising as it's a $400 unit to start, and comparing $400 to the biggest competition of other games on Steam or other titles on Steam, usually topping out around 60 bucks, it makes sense that it's sorted by revenue. All right, next up, iFixIt. Now, iFixIt has had a restock of several parts. This comes after several weeks of the replacement parts being completely out of stock, selling through their original inventory within hours, really, of them going live. Several people on the Steam Deck subreddit have noted that there's a limited supply of a lot of parts, typically less than 100 of each part that have been restocked. Though, seeing as this video isn't going out until tomorrow as of recording it, You probably won't be able to get in on these replacement parts, as these replacement parts are definitely going to be sold out by the time this video goes live tomorrow. So this is more of a heads up, a PSA. If you need a replacement part, keep your eyes peeled on the Steam Deck subreddit, on the Steam Deck discords that are out there. Make sure you keep your eyes peeled, and hopefully you get the part that you need when they drop again. All right, now let me ask you a question. Are you enjoying this video? If you are, then why not like that smash button and smash that subscribe button? We're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the summer, and I think with your help, we can do it. And thanks. So it looks like FedEx is soon going to provide photographs of packages once they've been delivered to your doorstep. This is really cool that FedEx is doing this because they have some notoriously kleptomaniac drivers who have been stealing Steam Decks right out from under people right at the final mile of being delivered. I've seen some security cam videos of FedEx drivers realizing they're holding a Steam Deck package in their hand and then literally just turning around and not delivering it and marking it as delivered. So it's really great to see that there's going to be a little bit of accountability at least. So I can think of a few ways in which FedEx drivers might be able to get around to having to take a photograph. Now, right now, the service is available in select markets, but it's rolling out to the entire United States and to Canada coming soon. So that's pretty cool to see. Micron. Now, Micron is introducing the first 1.5 terabyte micro SD cards. The Steam Deck can actually take micro SD cards with a capacity up to 2 terabytes, but the problem is nobody's actually making those right now. But Micron is the first to get close, 1.5 terabytes. This is pretty cool. I wonder how much it's going to cost. It's using their 176 layer 3D NAND storage technology, which I don't know anything about, but it sounds cool. And it's going to be available in 256 gigs, 512 gigs, 1 terabyte, or the 1.5 terabyte version. I don't know. I would love to know what you guys think about this. Is Micron a company you would trust with making SD cards? Let me know down in the comments. So there was an excellent write-up on Fast Company about how Valve's Steam Deck is, quote, a brilliant case against walled gardens. Quote, the tech industry is filled with companies that seem deathly afraid of open ecosystems, either because they don't trust their users, Apple, or they don't want to risk weakening their own ecosystems, Apple. By taking the opposite approach, Valve is proving that open platforms aren't so catastrophic, and it elevates the Steam Deck from yet another gadget to the most exciting consumer electronic device in years. Though where this article's author, Jared Newman, sees it commendable for Valve to not be locking down the deck, I see it the other way around. I see it as a steadfast example of just how wrong Microsoft, Apple, and other platform holders are when they claim that they can't accommodate end user choice. Quote, in 2020, Microsoft argued that because console makers sell their hardware at or below cost to create a market for their software, they shouldn't have to accommodate third-party app stores or sideloading. In response to a lawsuit from Epic Games, Apple has claimed that its investment in the App Store wouldn't be feasible if it couldn't force developers to use its in-app purchasing mechanisms. So it's all the more remarkable that Valve ignored all this hand-wringing and made the Steam Deck a haven for tinkerers. If the Steam Deck is successful as it appears to be so far, it could upend years of conventional wisdom around walled gardens and become a threat to other consoles in more ways than one. Now think about that. What if right to repair advocates and companies with interests in open ecosystems can point to the deck to show that a console-like device can be successful by not only being repairable, but also support user choice and freedom? And it's not enough for you to just be able to, sideload applications on your device, but also that you must be able to repair your devices on your own without having to go to any third party and ask for permission. Fundamentally, there is zero distinction between an Xbox, an iPhone, and a PC. You have the right to control and manage and repair the devices that you own. But only one of those platforms actually respects that right. And it's cool to think that the Steam Deck could be used as proof positive in a legislature or a courtroom that the arbitrary distinctions between a phone and a game console and a PC are just that, arbitrary, and they need to be dismantled. All right, enough preaching. Let's talk about the Steam Summer Sale. So it went live yesterday as of the posting of this video, and it has a few stellar deals available. I'll be honest, when I first started this channel, I was always looking for great deals in games, and Valve had consistently delivered great sales on Steam. But over time, those sales kind of tapered off and stopped being so exciting to me, and my content had kind of drifted away from gaming for a while at that point anyway. But now that I have the Steam Deck in hand, I could not be more excited to pick up a few of my most wanted titles during the Steam Summer Sale. A few personal highlights of this sale are Dead Cells, which is right now 50% off. And it's perfect for that drop-in for 10 minutes kind of gameplay that I've found my Steam Deck does so well. Next up is God of War, which is 20% off, now about $40. Very playable, very fun, especially on the deck. And also Doom Eternal, it's 60% off and now only 15 bucks. If you don't have Doom Eternal, it's one of the best games to play on the Steam Deck in my opinion. But those are all games that I already own. What am I gonna be picking up personally for the Steam sale? Well, first of all, Forsaken Remastered, which is 75% off and only $5. And the Turok bundle, which is 78% off at just $9 for both games. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm kind of a Night Dive fan at this point. And finally, we have No Man's Sky, which is now 50% off, coming in at $30. I'm stoked to be picking up some games that I've been eyeing for a while now, and let me know if I missed a good deal with a comment below. And finally, can I just say that I absolutely love the 90s retro web page aesthetic that they have going on here. It's lovely. Great work, Valve. And to close out the video, I want to touch on the fact that there hasn't been an update for the Steam Deck since June 9th. Has anyone else noticed this? Since the deck has launched, Valve hasn't gone more than a week or so without an update to at least a client, except for when they went on vacation to Hawaii as a company. So the question is, why have they gone almost 3 weeks without an update? Were they getting ready for the summer sale? I don't know. After all, the desktop client gets updates at least once a week as well. So here's hoping that they're working on something big for the Steam Deck over at Valve HQ. Now, I'd love to know what you think about any of this. What is Valve working on with the next Steam client update? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. But I think that's gonna do it for now. I wanna give a special shout out to Matt Dancer, one of my top tier Singularity members on Patreon. It's because of people like Matt that I've been able to grow this channel into what it is today. If you believe in the work that I'm doing and you want to help the show grow, consider using the links below to make your monthly pledge and become a Linux warrior. And thank you. That's going to do it for now though. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have the blessed day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.